I've never seen a crime gang as brazen as the Black King crew. They specifically target beautiful women, commit unspeakable acts, and somehow walk away untouched by the law. If you think no one dares to challenge them, you're dead wrong. Because this time, the woman they hurt had an ex-boyfriend who was anything but ordinary. This man can neutralize armed killers using nothing more than a dinner knife and spoon. He can walk into a casino with $100 and leave with $500,000. Even with a gun pointed at his head, he can turn a single playing card into a deadly counterattack. What follows is a raw, bone-crushing fight for dignity, and a look at just how dangerous an enraged bodyguard can be. The internet keeps praising this Jason Statham lookalike for how hard he can hit, but a few reckless scumbags didn't believe the hype. They brutally assaulted his ex-girlfriend Jenny, leaving her badly injured and traumatized. After being discharged from the hospital, Jenny goes straight to him, begging for help. She wants justice, real justice. He listens quietly, then tells her this is something the police should handle. But Jenny breaks down, saying if the police worked, she wouldn't be standing here now. That's when he realizes something is wrong. These men aren't just street thugs. He doesn't agree immediately. Instead, he scolds her for putting herself in danger and storms out. But his legs betray him. Despite telling himself it's no longer his problem, he heads straight back to the place where it all happened. Years ago, he was an elite special forces soldier. His service kept him away from Jenny for too long, and eventually they drifted apart. They may be done, but his sense of responsibility isn't. To track the attackers down, he questions a tough-looking woman who initially brushes him off. Later, she pulls him aside and warns him seriously, the men he's after are connected to a mafia family. Meeting them alone would put her life at risk. He sighs, not out of fear, but because he knows what this means. Going after them could trigger a full-scale gang war. Still, after downing several drinks, he makes his decision. He drives straight to a luxury hotel and knocks on the door under the excuse of delivering Christmas greetings. Inside, the gang leader lounges comfortably in a bathtub while two henchmen stand guard. The visitor calmly asks their names, saying he needs them for the greeting. As soon as they answer, he smiles, because they're the same men who attacked Jenny. When he confronts them, the leader immediately senses danger. Unsure who this man really is, he tries to buy his way out, offering $50,000. When that fails, he pulls a gun and starts threatening him, confident he's in control. That's his mistake. In a split second, the man dodges the shot, drops to the floor, and flicks a playing card through the air. The card hits with terrifying precision, instantly ending the standoff. Jenny enters the room. She pulls out a massive pair of scissors. The once arrogant gang leader panics, begging for mercy and offering endless money. She doesn't listen. Afterward, they take the cash and leave immediately. Knowing retaliation is inevitable, he forces Jenny to take the money and leave town. He keeps only a portion for himself. Later that night, a wealthy man unexpectedly visits him. Since leaving the military, he's been working as a private bodyguard. His dream is simple: earn $500,000 and retire to a quiet life sailing around Corsica. The wealthy client claims he has everything: money, status, but feels empty inside. He wants protection while searching for meaning in the chaos of the city. Before hiring him long-term, he wants to see what this legendary bodyguard can really do. Their conversation is filled with dark humor and sharp wit. They agree to meet again at a casino. That's when a dangerous idea forms. Instead of constantly watching his back, why not gamble once and for all, with $25,000? Maybe, just maybe, he can change his fate. That night, he walks into the city's most luxurious casino. A former gambling addict, he starts cautiously, betting just $100. But from that moment on, everything changes. It's like fate flips a switch. He wins, then wins again. 100 becomes 1,000, 1,000 becomes 10,000, 10,000 turns into 100,000. Before anyone realizes what's happening, he's sitting on $500,000. It's exactly the amount he dreamed of, enough to walk away forever, enough to live free. But as he approaches the cashier, he hesitates. If he could turn 100 into 500,000, what if he pushed his luck just one more time? He places the entire stack back on the table. One final hand of blackjack, one decision that could either secure his freedom or destroy everything. And as the dealer begins to deal the cards, the wheel of fate starts turning once again. Nick nervously checks his cards. He's sitting at 17. Across the table, the dealer is showing a 10. There's still one face-down card that hasn't been revealed. Nick knows he has a chance, but it doesn't feel safe enough. And this time, fate clearly isn't on his side. He takes another card. Instantly, everything collapses. He busts. What hurts even more is what comes next. The dealer flips the hidden card. 6. 6 plus 10 equals 16. Nick freezes. He had 17. If he hadn't taken that third card, he would have won, clean. Guaranteed. But now, it's over. He loses everything. Completely broken, Nick drifts over to the cold, lifeless bar and orders a drink. He drinks in silence, replaying that one reckless decision again and again in his mind. The regret crushes him. Deep down, though, we all know the truth. Even if Nick had won $5 million that night, he wouldn't have walked away. A man who can't control his desire will never find real happiness. The moment he sat at that table, he was already a loser. When Nick slowly wakes up from unconsciousness, he finds himself in a surgical room belonging to his employer. The man is impressed, deeply impressed, by Nick's fearless courage. He asks sincerely, almost desperately, how someone could overcome fear the way Nick does, but Nick is still haunted by the $50 million he lost. He has no interest in deep conversations. After a few polite words, he returns to the bar and keeps drinking. That's when two cold-blooded assassins suddenly appear. Already full of rage, Nick finally finds an outlet. He strikes without hesitation. The two killers don't even have time to react before they're slammed into the ground. Nick tries to leave, but it's already too late. More enemies are waiting. Their attacks are weak. Not only do they fail to break his defense, they awaken something far more dangerous inside him. Under Nick's brutal assault, they don't stand a chance. One by one, they fall. But Nick knows this isn't over. An insult this severe will never go unanswered. For the next few days, he stays cautious. He avoids going out. He stays hidden. Nothing happens. Slowly, his guard drops. Eventually, temptation wins, and he steps into a crowded bar. That's when he sees someone unexpected, the young employer. The man admits he's always hated himself for being weak, but watching Nick taught him something priceless. Even without protection, he now has the courage to face life, to show his gratitude. He wants to help Nick fulfill his dream. From beneath the counter, he pulls out a thick envelope. Inside is a brand new plane ticket to Corsica, and a check for $500,000. With this, Nick could finally leave, start over. Live the life he always wanted, yet he feels nothing, because he knows the truth. As long as he's alive, the danger isn't over. And right on cue, the assassins burst in. This time, the young employer bravely steps forward, singing a loud Christmas song to distract them. In the chaos, Nick escapes. The killers chase him into the night, weapons in hand. They don't realize Nick is waiting above them, hidden on a towering billboard. He doesn't want to kill, but the world won't let him choose, so he makes a decision. If he won't kill, then he won't kill at all. If he does, he ends everything. Armed with nothing but a knife and a spoon, he jumps. In seconds, it's over. Only Santa Claus remains, the last man standing. Regret fills his eyes. But like gambling, life doesn't sell second chances. With everything settled, Nick prepares to leave. That's when the employer runs after him. In the rush, Nick forgot the ticket and the check. Now he takes them. He leaves the city of sin behind for good. Wrath of Man isn't just an action film. It's an existential tragedy disguised as a tough guy story. The gambling sequence isn't filler, it's the soul of the movie. The violence in the world can be solved, but the violence inside the heart cannot. The film exposes a cruel truth. We spend our lives conquering the world while losing ourselves. The greatest prison isn't built by others. It's the one we refuse to escape, because deep down, everyone has a gambling table inside their heart, and the chips on it might be sleepless nights, endless scrolling, toxic relationships, or habits we know are wrong but can't quit. If this story touched you, like and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.